Welcome to the eBay Sales Bootcamp. This is going to be a preview of my course that I'm actually teaching on Udemy. And I will show you guys how you can make tons of money selling easy things on eBay and how you can do it as well. So check it out. Here's a few listings that I have that actually sold successfully and made tons of cash, and you can as well too. One way for you to get items like this and sell them on eBay is pretty easy. The best source for stuff to sell is actually from people you know. That's right, you have to just ask them out. Ask anybody you know and tell them, do you have something to sell on eBay? Do you have anything to sell? Do you have anything you no longer need and no longer use, just laying around the house? This is the stuff you tell them. Second thing, you have to have a lot of friends or people you know and just tell them about your business. And you have to do this a lot of times. Every time you meet somebody new, you never know who is a new potential client. So get your the word out to as many people as you can, because you never know when you're going to get your next thing to sell and where it's going to come from. A lot of times you might get something small to sell, but at other times you might get something expensive that's going to be a lot of money, and you never know unless you keep on talking to different people and telling them about your business. Here is something I did sell, and I made a decent amount of money as well. It's not a lot, but at the same time it does pay the bills and it does pay for itself. So the animal print coat I sold myself. This is something I got from my parents. They gave it to me to sell. They no longer need this particular item. I put it up on sale and it sold for $36. This is not how much I started selling this particular item. I started selling this for a lot more money, and it wasn't selling. I started at 60 and I kept on going down. I had to keep on going down and I had to get this item sold. The reason for that, winter is going to be over soon and nobody would want a winter item in the summer, so you have to get rid of something like this, otherwise you have it in your inventory for a whole year, and I didn't really want this item in my inventory for a year, so I had to sell it for a lot less than I expected it to. Otherwise it probably would have went for maybe $50, but I didn't want to take my chances. I just wanted this to be out of the house. So I did take the loss and I sold it. I didn't really, I'm not saying like I really took the loss, but I could have sold it for more and I didn't. So it happens. It does happen a lot of times, and it will happen to you too. Even people who professionally sell, we make mistakes or we just get impatient. We sell this for less than we should, and it does finally sell and we're like, oh man, we could have sold it for more, and it didn't happen. What can you do? Next time you just have to have a little bit more patience and not try to get something out of the door this quick. That's my suggestion to you. So everything else I did right. I took many different pictures of the item. You have to take as many as you can. Try to fill up all 12 pictures of this particular item. Try to take pictures of it in every single position. You take it from the front, you take it from the back, from the side, and you take a picture of the tag. This particular item is not a brand name, so it's not going to sell for this much money as a brand name item would. At the same time, you have to flip it inside out, because this is a trench coat. It actually does flip inside out, so this is another way for you to market it. This is a second marketing technique for this particular item, and you don't want this as your best picture. You want to make sure that first picture is the best one out of all the lot. Make sure you rearrange the pictures and make sure the number one picture is the best, because it's going to be the selling point. I think this is actually my second picture is better than my first one, so maybe I made a mistake on this particular listing too. So sometimes you make more than one mistake, so you gotta review the listing, make sure you did everything right so it has zero mistakes as well. And here is more of what I did to get this item to sell. You have to fill up every single thing about this particular item. This is very important for you to do as well. And the reason for that is, if you don't fill up every single detail that you have right here, if you do try to sell it, the search engines are not gonna pick up. And for the condition, make sure you tell everything about this particular condition too, so nobody will give this back to you. Second thing you have to do to make the listing more attractive is to put the description, everything that you know about this item. And I like to use sometimes the fonts, and as you can see I made a different color so people pay attention to what is this item, the name of it and what it is. And after that I put the description, the rest of it down here. And this particular item doesn't need that much description. It kind of sells itself based on the pictures. You don't need to read that much in here, so I didn't put that much effort into the description of this particular item. Here's the second item I did sell. This is the typewriter. It's getting very popular. Those kind of items do sell, and they sell for a decent amount of money. This particular item I actually found somebody tried to trash this. It was outside. I tested out. It was working, so I decided to sell it. I was trying to get 90 bucks for it, but nobody would pay that much. I kept on lowering the price until I finally got to 40, and somebody finally did buy it. So it might take you a long time to get the price you want, and sometimes you have to start high and just keep going low until somebody will buy this item. Second thing, I did the same exact thing. As you can see, I filled up the model number, the brand, and the description. I made it as simple as possible. I just want people to look at the pictures and buy this particular item. I don't want to have too much information in the description for this item as well. Here is another item I sold. This is a conventional oven. This is a vintage item. It was bought it from a long time ago, and it was just laying there. It was like practically brand new item, but it had particularly zero use, so I decided it's time to just sell it. I posted up. The funny thing is, this is one of the items that sold right away. I would say within one hour that I listed this particular item, it got sold. What was the dazzle two that took a long time? This thing sold in 1 hour. Unbelievable. I must have priced it too cheap, which is why it probably sold right away. It actually happens sometimes when you misprice something. Or I looked up at sold listings, and it seems that it was going for $35. So I was like, okay, let's go for 35, and then I'm like, nah, I'm gonna put $29.98. I'm gonna beat this as a person. I'm gonna price it way lower than the other listing, and I did. And then right away somebody just bought this. So it can happen to you if you sometimes don't really need to beat the other person, and you just like sell it and see what happens to it. And here we go. You can see I put a lot more effort into the description. I put a lot more into this because I thought that this item needs a lot more description as well, and it sold right away. So that was another successful sale. So you can do the same thing. You can just like look at the stuff you have in the house, put it up there, post them up, and see what happens. That's how you make money on eBay. Just post them up and just keep on selling things. You never know what's gonna sell and for how much it's gonna sell.